cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day. I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel, that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertip like I'm Thanos. Knocking those down, no bangles, without a kangaroo.
Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. Tonight we finish off Week 6 with a good Monday nighter between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Got his man. It's Dulcich. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly. Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. So a false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now it's Wilson. Got an open man here, and it's KJ Hamler. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 45-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. They kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
To try again after the sack. Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Throwing is Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. On the return, Carter. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. From the 22, Herbert. And his throw here is incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Herbert on 3rd down now. He finds his target, Allen. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it, try and keep the defense honest.
I mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. He's got Allen. Touchdown, Chargers. Keenan Allen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. No return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. That's into the hands of Isaiah Coulter. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's got it to about the 40.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Williams. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And picked up by the Chargers. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices, it's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Draymond Jones able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Two seconds to go, first quarter. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's Herbert. That's caught. It's DeAndre Carter. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 27. Herbert just beat the play clock. Touchdown! Keenan Allen with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers go up by 2 touchdowns. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wilson. Looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there forcing a completion.
Again, Wilson. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Whipping run into Allen. That's complete. Touchdown, Chargers. Keenan Allen on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He's got Hamler on the out route, and he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Throwing again here, Wilson.
That's going to be caught by Coulter.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back in the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Wilson. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
To throw again is Wilson. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Isaiah Coulter, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Extra point forthcoming. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Makes the score, Chargers 21, Broncos 7.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The Charger drive about to get going. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their fourth possession. Touchdowns on their first three possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Play action. It's Herbert. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A huge play there for Denver. And even 60 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Second and goal from the 1. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up the 3rd down. They'll run it with Williams. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fourth down. Here's Williams. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've seen their 21-0 advantage cut to just 7, so time to go back to work here, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. He rifles one that's intercepted. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, he gets this to Coulter complete. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. More from L.A. in a moment. An extra quarterback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Got a man complete, it's Hamler. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack, his 2nd sack of the night. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. In motion, the tight end. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They're going for Hamler, but this is intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. Shoves him aside. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Under Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. Mike Williams. As the first half is winding down. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. On the return, Andre Roberts from his end zone.
Andre Roberts on the return. The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining and not much time, we'll see how they play this. Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The false start backs them up 5, first and 15. They go play action now. Wilson steps away. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Derwin James with a pick.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Charger drive about to get going.
1 second, all that remains.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. The final shot before the break for Herbert. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter.
And Carter deciding not to bring this one out.
The Charger drive about to get going.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Getting the stop defensively, Delarian Turner yelled. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, LA! DeAndre Carter 71 yards. And the Chargers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder...
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
After the run, now Herbert to throw. On the screen, this is Eckler. Room here to run. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. He finds his target, Allen. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Herbert operating from the red zone. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Herbert throwing again. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Palmer. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here we go on 4th. Herbert, he's going to have his running back. It's complete. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler, halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score... And now here is another interception. Picked up by Michael Davis. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there, still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays. And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll go option to the short side, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, here's Eckler, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They snap it to Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. An incompletion there on 4th and goal from the 3. And the Bronco defense comes up big. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A quick throw caught out wide by Judy. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. Defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got a man complete. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. He's got him in, complete. And a good stiff arm and some space to run. Touchdown. Mike Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chargers get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Chargers 49. Broncos 31.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sideline, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now it's Herbert. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. They'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Herbert going to keep it on his sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Chargers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Again, Wilson. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he's going to go down again. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Derwin James with a pick. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw here, Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers! Donald Parham, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Justin Hopkins to kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try to put points on the board.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. It got his man complete. A huge play there for Denver. 42 yards. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
On 1st down, Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And that's going to be caught by Coulter.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 13-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
Wilson will throw again.
He gets this to Coulter, complete.
Touchdown, Broncos.
Isaiah Coulter.
26 yards.
And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth-quarter deficit.
Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
Right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That one caught by Carter. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Herbert on first down now. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. On third down, Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talked about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down. Hopkins' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, 1st down. Play action. It's Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds. A gain of 37.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
This call down near the goal line. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Wilson going to throw for it. And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all, and if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Pulling out a very strong gain of 24.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. Let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. They're going to pass here with Herbert. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard.
And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably